thanks to the supporters of channel member Xander Suster. Here we go then, folks. It's taken us 4 years to get here, but we are finally a Tier 8 team. Let's have a good start to the season, shall we? Hello and welcome to part 31 of Wembley to Wembley. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we kick off the Wembley to Wembley campaign again for a new season because we've got the first, is it the extra qualifying? The extra preliminary round of the FA Cup where we're away against Clapton Community Football Club, who are based in the Essex Senior League, which is down in Tier 9. That's the level we were just at previously. And then we also play our first game in our new division, which is the Isthmian League Division 1 South Central, away against Fisher. If you missed a transfer special in the last episode, you need to go back and watch it. Lots of things have happened. We've brought in quite a few new players and some returning faces, and we have certainly, from a first 11 perspective, a pretty solid looking team. We know Duffy and Sant have been top players for us previously. We've got the best guys from last year, Everett, Chadder. Bayliss is still here, plus some good youngsters in Best and Leroy, and some more established players at this level like Omar, Downey and Burton Jones are both youngsters as well. It's all fine. Let's go and play. Who are we playing? Clapton CFC. So I've already introduced the team to you. It's Wood in goal, who is going to need replacing. Chadder, Omar, Duffy and Leroy. Burton Jones and Downey in midfield. Everett, Sant and Best behind Bayliss up front. This is the first time in a long time that we've played against a team who are actually at a level below us in the league structure. So theoretically, this should be a relatively comfortable victory and us cruising into the normal preliminary round. And hopefully, if we can start making some money, an FA Cup run this season would be ideal to start repairing some of the financial damage that the board are insisting that I repair, even though they caused it because they were irresponsible with their setting of budgets. To be fair, they've been irresponsible setting the budgets this season again as well. Wood with a decent piece of goalkeeping to kick things off. I tell you what, if he impresses in these first couple of games, we might not even need to bring somebody in to replace him. He did start last season as our goalkeeper, but then we brought a replacement in over the top of him, and he never really got another look in. But he is still young. He's got decent potential, so maybe he'll end up any good. I mean, he kind of brought that on himself with his poor distribution, but we got away with it. We didn't concede. So that's a good thing. We are obviously still playing our control possession system, which with so many new faces in the team might take a little while to bed in because it's not a typical style of football that you'd expect to play at this level. And we don't know how many of these boys are going to be able to take to it, how quickly they'll take to it. But we've got the key players, our centre forward, our goalkeeper, who are used to it from last year. So fingers crossed we can make something happen. Chadder looked like he was playing almost in central midfield there, gives it out to Everett. So we've got some continuity on the left-hand side at least. But Bayliss not able to get control of it. But there is Jamie Sant. First look at him since he's returned to the club. Plays it over the top for Best, who squares it for Bayliss. And Bayliss really should have finished there. Bayliss, theoretically, star rating wise, is the best striker we've got at the club. But as we saw towards the end of last season, he doesn't necessarily really fit into this system. So it might be that Canerva ends up pushing past him, or we might end up bringing somebody in over the top of him. But we're going to give him the opportunity to demonstrate his value before we make those kind of decisions, because he is under contract for another year. He's one of the higher, or was previously one of the higher paid players at the club. Now we've brought in a few more players, the new centre-backs, for example, who are on more money than he is. So he's not now one of the higher paid players at the club, but we can't afford to just bring in 20 new players. We've brought in 6 or 7 and maxed out our money doing it, and now we're losing as well. And I guess we divert our eyes towards these new centre-backs that we were talking about before and completely blame them for that. I mean, it is a very new look back four, so we're not going to get too down if we end up losing this game, but it doesn't bode well for the season if we do, because I would quite like a nice boring mid-table season. First season at this level, we're expected to get relegated. If we can find a way to just be a boring mid-table team, that'd be super duper. And Josh Bayliss has decided to cancel out any doubts I might have had about him as a centre forward in this system with a lovely, calm and composed finish. Maybe this is the year that we finally get a 30-goal a season striker, and maybe it'll be that guy, because that's the one thing that's been missing from this series so far, a proper free-scoring super striker. And it is possible to find them in non-league. We've just not stumbled across one yet. The closest thing we ever had to a goal-a-game kind of attacker was Jamie Sant when he was here before, but he was playing in a different role, so it'll be interesting to see how he develops in this new role, in this new system. He was always playing as one of two attacking midfielders, the more attacking, more direct of the two, basically as an extra striker, an overloading striker, because we already had two up front and Sant would get up there and join them. Whereas now he's playing as the playmaker behind just one striker and trying to play wide players into the game as well. It's a very different thing we're asking from him, but I mean, he's had a decent start so far, and so has Tom Best, who's got himself a goal on his debut. I have very, very high hopes for him. One of a couple of youngsters that we brought in from professional football, and I guess he's dropping down to this level in the hopes that he can start working his way back up the leagues again. And if he can do that with us, that'd be super. We'd enjoy that very much. But 2-1 up now. I'd like to think that this is how things were supposed to go today. 67% possession, and our front four are all playing very well, which is very nice to see as well, as is new boy Leroy at right back as well. So decent start for us. Let's just not let Clapton back into the game. I think that's probably the order of business here. I don't think there's a lot of money involved for winning this round of the FA Cup. It's only a couple of £100, but pretty much every round you get through, the prize money doubles, and obviously the quality of the teams increases, and then you're more likely to make money on the split of the gate receipts and things as well. For a club of our size, if we could even get a run to like the second qualifying round, that's going to bring in probably 10, 15 grand to the club, which is 10 or 15 grand that we didn't have before. That pays the wages for 3 months, having a little mini run in this competition. So it would be quite handy if we could do that, although we have let Clapton back into the game now, despite our dominance, certainly dominance of possession. We've had the better XG as well, although we have let Clapton have more chances than you would like to see them have. We'll take off Omar, bring on the other new defender, Purse. We've not got Kemmerer on the bench, which seems like a little bit of an oversight, but Wood can come on and Leroy can move over to that side. And then we'll take off Downey and bring on the other new defensive midfielder, Macaulay, as we start to have a look at some of our new boys. I'm not entirely sure yet what my best back four is, what my best midfield two is. So we're going to be trying a few different things, and I think one of the things we probably need to try now is getting Anton Canerva on and hoping that he's still in the same kind of goal-scoring form that he was in last year. We can bring on Sean Martin as well as the final change. What kind of defensive midfielder is Macaulay? He wants to be the ball winner, so Martin can go across there. Martin would rather be a playmaker, but he doesn't get the chance to be a playmaker today. He can... oh, my word. Wood is not filling me with an enormous amount of confidence as our goalkeeper. So we have got two that we're on the verge of bringing in, one on loan, one permanently. I think we definitely need to be bringing a goalkeeper in. So hopefully at least one of those will be at the club, maybe even in time for that first league game of the season next weekend. Canerva has scored, but it's been disallowed for offside. I thought Canerva was going to continue to demonstrate that he should be the man for us up front this year, but it was not to be. It remains 2-2. I don't know if this probably goes to a replay, I would think. It does go to a replay. So that's not ideal, because I wanted to show you our first league game. If the replay is before that, I'll do that off camera. I will do that off camera, and I'll be back with you for Fisher. Hopefully, we find our way past him. I guess more matches equals more money, so not necessarily a bad thing. Well, we signed a new goalkeeper, Lewis Clayton. He came into the team for the replay, kept a clean sheet, and then got injured and is out for a month. So we might bring in the loan guy as well. That one's still happening. But yeah, we beat Clapton 2-0. Nearly 1,000 people turning up at Vale Farm as well, which was our highest ever gate receipt. We doubled our highest ever gate receipt, made nearly £18,000 off of that. So really, really would like a cup run, please. That would be super. But first, we're off to Fisher. And I don't know where Fisher is. I mean, Fisher's London. St. Paul's. Are they near St. Paul's Cathedral? Not really. That's St. Paul's Cathedral. That's Fisher over here. So looking down at the Thames, or across at the Thames. Nice little football pitch. Look, there, right there. Oh, look how filthy that water is. Goodness me. I mean, I knew it wasn't clean, but it should not be that colour on a satellite photo. That's quite alarming. Let's have a little look at the setup they've got here for Fisher. The Ballers Academy, this is apparently, which is a very confident name. We look like we've got a little road there that we can have a look at it from. So that guy is wearing flip-flops, yellow flip-flops. Interesting, but I imagine the football pitch is this side. Oh, it just looks like a little community, like AstroTurf area with some very large buildings very nearby. I wouldn't think there was a football team based here whilst coming past. It's, yeah, St Paul's Sports Ground. There you go. We can actually get in this side. Can we get in down here? I don't think we can. Do we have any of those special blue dots that people are always telling me we can drop on to have a little look? I don't think we do. Where can we look from? So we were there before, so that looks like a route in. We'll try again from here. There's the bus going past, and there is, yeah, kind of the back entrance. So it's just like a little community AstroTurf. Very snazzy. How close is the river? Which direction's the river in, do we think? I think the river's over here. Can we go over here? No, we can't. Well, no chance to look at. There you go. We're gonna look at the view from the edge of the river and see, it doesn't look as dirty from there. Okay. Well, there's some big, expensive looking houses here. This lot are going to be a bunch of millionaires. They're also a team who are expected to finish kind of lower mid-table-ish. They got promoted last season as well in much more convincing fashion than we did. So I imagine they'll be feeling pretty confident before today's match. And Freddie Eastwood, I'm pretty sure, is a player that's been part of a non-league to legend save we've done at some point in the past, because that name looks very, very familiar. But let's not worry about Freddie Eastwood. Let's worry about us. So with the injury to new boy Clayton, Wood stays in goal. And the back four is going to be Chadder, Omar, Duffy and Leroy. Macaulay comes in alongside Burton Jones in midfield. And then I think that's the same front four we had in the previous game you saw as well. Everett, Sant, Best, and then Bayliss up front. So let's get that team submitted. Leroy is struggling a little bit for fitness. He didn't even play in the replay. We actually rotated a little bit for the replay because we were back at our place. You know, got to be confident and really had more than one eye, an eye and a half, I would say, on this match. And I tell you what, Tom Best looks like he's going to be quite the player for us this season. Scored on his debut in the FA Cup. He's now scored on his league debut, and he's the first player to score for us in Tier 8. And it's, I mean, that's pretty solid attacking play. How tall is Best? Best he's only 5'9". I mean, he looked aerially dominant there. His jumping reach is only 7. His heading's only 4. He looked like a big lad at the far post there, but absolutely isn't. But we'll take it. I mean, Wood just didn't seem like he had any idea what was going on again there. Although, to be fair to him, he did make a very good point-blank save from the replay, so we have to cut him a little bit of slack. He's being unfairly made a scapegoat because we've got memories of Dylan. He's certainly no Dylan, so I need to be a little fairer to him, I think. But it is going to be Fisher looking to get an immediate reply. Still only 3 minutes on the clock, and that is a very useful set piece that luckily they weren't able to divert the header goalwards, and we remain 1-0 up. We're top of the league at the moment, boys and girls. What a time to be alive! We're doing back to back, and nobody can stop us. Oh, this lot can. Phoenix Sports. I'm starting to recognise the names of teams now that we're getting to this level. Phoenix Sports, I'm pretty sure, is a team that I've heard of, and I think we're probably going to get a little bit more of that the higher up the leagues we get. Wood has just made another good save. I tell you what, Ben Wood's the long-term answer. He's a young goalkeeper with potential, and he's made 2 very good saves in this match. I won't hear any of the negativity about him that I'm getting from you. Like, look at that, comfortably grabbing across as well. This is our goalkeeping solution right here. He's been here over a year. He's bided his time. He's waited for his opportunity. he's come into the team, immediately been dropped, and then immediately got back in again because of an injury. And he looks all right based on the first 20 minutes or so of this league game. I guess we do have to take it with a pinch of salt. We have no idea how good Fisher are actually going to be, other than the fact they were a little bit better than us last year. But we don't know what they've done over the summer. They might be the team that ends up finishing rock bottom of this league. So there's only so much we can take from these early fixtures as we're figuring things out, and presumably other teams are figuring things out as well. But this has been a pretty encouraging performance so far. And Best, once again, on this right-hand side, looking to skin his man. He does exactly that, goes past him, then lets him catch up again, and then ends up giving it back to McCauley. He floats the cross over to Bayliss, and he gets his header onto it, but he's always stretching to try and get to that and wasn't able to keep the header down. It ends up on the top of the net and it stays 1-0 as we hit half time. Fisher will be a little bit disappointed to be behind in that match. I'm a little bit disappointed that we only had one corner and we've only had 44% of possession in a match where we're trying to control possession. So maybe the positives in this match aren't quite as overwhelming as I thought they were. We've had a couple of good saves out of our keeper, and we've got and we've scored a goal. But other than that, we've not actually played our game just yet, and now they're trying to get in between our centre back and our left back, and they did, but Wood makes yet another save. Ben Wood is probably going to be man of the match if he carries on as he is, which is not bad for a goalkeeper who was dropped 3 days ago and has now found his way back in. We get the header clear from Burton Jones, but only to the edge of the area. But Best is now getting at me. I tell you what, Best is the best. He's my new favourite player. He's everywhere on this pitch. It's between him and Wood about who's going to be my man of the match for today. But Burton Jones plays it across to Duffy, and now Duffy to McCauley, back to Duffy again, and back to McCauley again. Can we try and move around a little bit so that we've got another passing option for one of these players at some point? There you go. We've got a man in space there. It's Burton Jones. He plays the ball across over the top to Best. Best has got in behind and he scored again. Oh, Tom Best is our new hero. We've got a superstar on our hands here. That's 3 goals for us in this episode already, and he looks like an enormous threat coming off this right-hand side. That is, I'm excited. I'm excited at what we might have here. We might actually finally have an attacking player. He's only 19. He was previously at Wycombe, did well for MK Irish last season as well, and still has potential to improve as well. This is an exciting young player. I don't know why MK Irish let him go. That doesn't make a huge amount of sense. Right, Leroy is tiring, but we don't have anyone to bring on for him. Bayliss is struggling just to come up with a performance, so Canerva can come on for him. Jamie Sant is also struggling, so Russ Eddy can come on there. Can Chadder play right back? Can Kemmerer play right back? Kemmerer can sort of play right back, so Mike Kemmerer is going to come on and play right back for us. We're 2-0 up. We should be okay now. Kemmerer is ability-wise already roughly at the level of Chadder, so if we can train him to play right back as well, it'd be quite handy to have have another fullback who can play both sides. It's one of the reasons I liked Leroy. He can play fullback on either side. If Kemmerer can learn to do that as well, that would be very, very handy. Right. Oh, I've used all my substitutions because I thought we were playing another cup game. Oh, well, it's fine. Let's just hope we don't pick up any injuries. Right, Russ Eddy shoots from range and the goalkeeper pushes it around the post. And it's good to see Russ Eddy still here and still involved, and hopefully more opportunity for first team football this year, because we've got rid of a lot of our other fringe players. It's really only the first teamers who are still at the club now. We've got a first team squad of about 20 players, and Russ Eddy, Anton Canerva, Sean Martin, these youngsters that we've had around for a little while, they're all part of that. Rayners Lane are 4-0 up away from home. Now that is interesting because they narrowly finished 1 point ahead of us last year. They've come up 4-0 up away from home on the first day. We're 2-0 up away from home on the first day. Was our league just really hard last year? Is it going to be us and Rayners Lane again? I've spoken before about how much I would love to go up the leagues with Rayners Lane and make them proper rivals. And in the spirit of that, we might play them in the next episode. A Rayners Lane South Park doubleheader. That sounds like a YouTube video. But we're we're doing okay. I will take okay. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.